Hey, what is up guys? In this video we're going to be doing a full card breakdown for UFC 295. This is an early look on the full card. I made this video while I just found out that we have some changes going on this main card. Jon Jones is out of the fight with Stipe Miocic because of an injury. So now they made Prochazka, which is the co-main event, Prochazka versus Pereira, which was the co-main event on this card. Now this is going to be the main event for this fight card, and now they made the interim heavyweight championship between Pavlovich versus Aspinall. So that's gonna be the co-main event now. But in this video, I did a full card breakdown on this video, so you're gonna see me go over each fight on this card. This whole card is stacked with 14 fights on this card. Yeah, we just found out that Jones had an injury, so he's out of the fight. I mean, they just updated this while I was making this video, so it is what it is. So it sucks that Jon Jones is out of this fight and Stipe can't fight now. And I don't know if they're gonna rebook that fight or not. They're probably just gonna do Jon Jones versus the winner of the interim heavyweight championship. Whoever wins Pavlovich versus Aspinall. If Aspinall wins, they're gonna do Jon Jones versus Aspinall. If Sergey Pavlovich wins, they're gonna do Pavlovich versus Jon Jones. So that's probably gonna be a better fight. I'll be looking forward to Pavlovich versus Jon Jones or Aspinall versus Jon Jones. That's gonna be much better fight in my opinion. I think that's what the fans pretty much wanted. And the fans got what they wanted, man. The fans really got what they wanted. So this is exciting news. It's definitely exciting that we're gonna have this fight. I'm pretty excited to see Sergey Pavlovich going up against Tom Aspinall. For this video, you'll probably hear me talk about the Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira as the co-main event, because I made that part of the video earlier before I found out that Jon Jones is out of the fight. So let's get right into it, guys. This video, I'm gonna put this. I had to remake this introduction on this video. So enjoy the full card breakdown, guys. Leave a like down below. And if you guys are new here, if you found this channel for the first time, I make content almost every single day, and I've been on the grind, man. So please subscribe to the channel if you guys appreciate the grind, if you guys appreciate the daily content, and if you guys appreciate the daily grind, daily predictions video. If you guys want to make money betting on MMA, we made 8+ units on the UFC 294 card. In profit alone, guys. I don't think many people made 8+ units in profit alone. We made a lot of money live betting on UFC 294 too on the live streams. So join me. I'll probably be doing a live stream for this fight card, I mean. And I'm gonna be doing a live stream for the Brazil card too, Vegas 82 card. So join me there. We do live bets too. We make a lot of money. So enjoy the full card breakdown, guys, before I make this video too long. And it sucks that Jon Jones is out of the fight, but we got some good replacement for the interim heavyweight championship. So enjoy the full card breakdown, guys. I'm gonna end this part of the video here. I'll see you guys later. Alright, guys, next up in the co-main event of UFC 295, we have the light heavyweight championship on the line. We have Jiri Prochazka, the former light heavyweight champion, taking on the former middleweight champion Alex Poatan Pereira. Let's get into it, guys. We have Jiri Prochazka. He's 29-3-1 overall. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He fights out of Czech Republic. He's 31 years old, 6 feet 3 inches tall with an 80-inch reach. Trains out of Jetsam Gym BRNO. I think that's his own gym. He's gonna be fighting Alex Poatan Pereira, who's a former Glory double champ. He's 8-2 overall in his MMA career. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's 36 years old. Fights out of Brazil. He's 6 feet 4 inches tall with an 80-inch reach. So these guys are very similar. Poatan's gonna be 1 inch taller than him, but the reach is pretty much the same. He trains out of Tessera MMA and Fitness. I think Poatan's trying to revenge his buddy Tessera's loss to Prochazka. So Prochazka, I mean, he's really good, well-rounded fighter, man. He's got good submissions too. He submitted Glover Teixeira, but he can get taken down himself. Glover Teixeira were taking him down, and he was outstriking him too. Prochazka, I mean, this dude is very wild. He's gonna throw a lot of spinning weapons on the feet. You don't know what he's gonna throw next. This dude's a killer, man. 25 wins by KO, TKO. That is absolutely brutal, man. He's 11-1 in Ryzen, and he's been knocked out twice in his 2 losses. He's been submitted once. He's only gone to decision once, man. This dude is an absolute killer. Like, he's gonna be taking on Poatan Pereira, who's barely goes to decision too. He went to decision against Jan Blachowicz, where he won by split decision. He did get taken down in the first round, and before that he got knocked out to Israel Adesanya in the second round where he left himself wide open. So both of these guys, I mean, they're kill or be killed fighters. They're pretty much go for it. Both of them love striking. Both of them love throwing big shots on the feet. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of grappling in this fight. If anyone's gonna grapple, it's probably gonna be Jiri Prochazka, if I'm guessing. And Poatan's his takedown defense needs a lot of work. He does get taken down a lot. Maybe Jiri Prochazka is gonna be looking to take him down in this fight. Prochazka is gonna have a grappling edge in this fight. But Prochazka loves throwing spinning weapons on the feet. He's gonna love striking. But Poatan's gonna be the better technical striker in this fight, guys. I'll say that much. Who do I think is gonna win? I mean, the odds are very close. The odds are basically a pick'em. I think Pereira is like -130, and he's coming off a split decision win over Jan Blachowicz, where I think I picked him against Jan Blachowicz as underdog there, as a +100 or +110 underdog. I did pick him there against Blachowicz. But yeah, man, this is a tough one to pick because Jiri Prochazka is coming off a surgery. He had to vacate his title because he had a surgery and he was dealing with some injuries. So I mean, but he hasn't fought in over a year and a half. But I'm gonna take Prochazka, man. Until I see this guy lose, I'm not gonna pick against him. The way he just knocked out Dominic Reyes isn't really the same anymore. But then he knocked out Volkan Ozdemir. Ozdemir still has something left in the tank. But man, the way he submitted Glover Teixeira in the last 2 minutes of the fight, in the 5th round, he was losing that fight. So if Pereira does stay calm and composed, maybe he can strike Prochazka and maybe knock him out. Because Pereira definitely has that crazy left hook. He's got a lot of power in his hands, man. And Pereira does throw a lot of spinning weapons, a lot of switch flying knee too. Let's look at the stats, guys. Let's look at the stats for this fight. We have Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira lands about 5.11 significant strikes landed per minute. His striking accuracy is 62%. He absorbs the 3.70 significant strikes per minute. His striking defense is 51%. He's got a way better striking defense than Prochazka. His takedown average is 0.22%. He's not really a guy that looks for takedowns. The only takedown he got was over, I think it was over Israel Adesanya. His takedown accuracy is 100%. He's only attempted one takedown, so you can't really look at that too much. That takedown accuracy. He's got takedown defense at 70%, which is pretty good. But he hasn't fought a lot of wrestlers in his career. He's fought mostly strikers. And Prochazka, I mean, he lands about a 77 significant strikes. So both of these guys land over 5 significant strikes per minute. They're very high volume guys. Prochazka has a 55% striking accuracy. He absorbs a lot more at 5.40. Striking defense needs a lot of work. He does eat a lot of damage. Glover Teixeira, who's a grappler first, was able to land a lot of big shots on the feet on him, and he had him in big trouble. But Prochazka, you can never count this guy out, man. This guy's never out of a fight. His striking defense is at 40%, so yeah, he does need a lot of work on that striking defense. But he's tough, man. He's got a really good chin, and he's only been knocked out twice in his career. His takedown average is 0.38. Both of these guys don't really attempt takedowns. His takedown accuracy is 100% too. He's only attempted one takedown too, I think. Both of these guys barely attempt takedowns. His takedown defense is 68%, which is pretty good. I think his takedown defense was better before he fought Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira took him down a couple of times there. Maybe we could see Pereira come in with the grappling and mixing in takedowns in this fight because he's training with Glover Teixeira, but I doubt it. Man, this is a tough fight to pick, man, because we have the former champ at 205, I mean, taking on the former champion at 185. I'm going to pick Jiri Prochazka. He's the underdog in this fight. I'm going to pick against Alex Pereira here. I did pick Alex Pereira against Jan Blachowicz, and he barely won that fight. It was a split decision, and that was a close fight, man. And Jan Blachowicz was landing some big shots on him too. Pereira does leave a lot of openings. This is a tough fight to pick because Jiri Prochazka hasn't fought in over like a year and a half. But I'm going to pick Jiri Prochazka here as the underdog. I like him. I like his style. I could be biased too. But I'm going to pick Jiri Prochazka. I think he's going to find a knockout. I think Jiri Prochazka is going to find a knockout at some point in this fight. So that's my pick, guys. Jiří Procházka by fourth round TKO. Hey, what is up, guys? We just got some big breaking news right now for UFC 295 card. We have Jon Jones. He's out of the fight with Stipe. He broke his arm, I think, or he broke one of his tendons. So he's definitely out for 8 months. From what I heard from Dana White, said that he's not gonna be fighting for the next 8 months. He's gonna recover, try to get better. So now they made the Jiří Procházka versus Alex Pereira as a main event on this fight card, and for the interim, we have the interim heavyweight championship on this card now. As the co-main event, we have Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall, guys. I'm kind of disappointed, I'll be honest. I just got done making this full prediction video for the Jon Jones versus Stipe card, and now I gotta go back and make the whole thing again. And I'm disappointed as a fan. I was really hoping to watch Jon Jones perform, but it is what it is, man. So let's talk about this card, man. We have the co-main event. We have the new co-main event now. Sergey Pavlovich taking on Tom Aspinall. Sergey Pavlovich is mostly a striker. This dude throws so heavy shots on the feet. He's one of the best boxers at the heavyweight weight class. He's the number 2 best MMA heavyweight fighter right now. Number 2 ranked heavyweight fighter right now. He's 6-1 in the UFC. He's got all 6 wins by KO, TKO, all in the first round too. This dude is an absolute monster. His only loss in the UFC was to Alistair Overeem, where Alistair Overeem was able to take him down to the ground and pound him in the first round. That was his UFC debut, so no shame losing to Alistair Overeem. But man, he's been on a fucking roll since then. He's knocked out Marcelo Gomes in the first round, knocked out Maurice Green in the first round, knocked out Samil Abdurakhimov in the first round, knocked out Derek Lewis in the first round, knocked out Tai Tuivasa in the 50 seconds. Grounded pounded Curtis Blades in the first round. I mean, this dude is an absolute monster. I picked him against Curtis Blades as an underdog there. A lot of people were picking Blades, man. 40% people picked Blades there, and he was the favorite there too. Blades was like a -180 favorite there, and I'm glad that we picked up Pavlovich. Pavlovich was my underdog lock of the week there. So it is what it is, man. Now he's gonna be taking on Tom Aspinall. I made this video like an hour ago, so I might say that Jiří Procházka versus Alex Pereira is a co-main event because I made that video. I don't know if I want to go back and make the whole thing again. So it is what it is, man. Now this is the co-main event of this card now. Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. Anyways, Sergey Pavlovich is 31 years old, 6 feet 3 inches tall with his 84-inch reach. He trains at Eagles MMA Academy. He's taking on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the heavyweight weight class. His only loss in the UFC was to Curtis Blades, where he injured his knee. He broke his knee in the first round, I think it was, while throwing a leg kick or checking a leg kick. But he's 30 years old. He's 6 feet 5 inches tall with a 78-inch reach. He trains out of Team Caban, Liverpool. Man, this is a tough fight to pick because Pavlovich is the absolute monster with his boxing. But Tom Aspinall, I mean, he's going to be the way more well-rounded fighter on this card. And he's got power too in his hands. He's got a better ground game. I'll take Tom Aspinall by second round submission, man. Maybe a first round submission or second round, but I'll take Tom Aspinall here. But man, Sergey Pavlovich is an absolute monster. And this prediction, I'll definitely not be betting on this fight. I don't know if I want to bet on this fight. Maybe I'll bet the under 2.5 rounds. But man, if Pavlovich can defend all the takedowns and keep this fight on the feet, I mean, he's got a brick head for chin. And Tom Aspinall could be in some trouble here, guys. But Tom Aspinall, man, he's got some good wins. He knocked out Marcin Tybura in the first round. I picked him there at the first round knockout. Knocked out Alexander Volkov. Submitted Volkov in the first round. I mean, took him down and just made it look easy. Knocked out Sergey Spivak in the first round too, I think it was. I mean, submitted Andrei Arlovsky. So both of these guys are very good, top of their weight. I mean, top of the game. Both these guys are very high level guys. And man, I would not be shocked if Sergey Pavlovich knocks Tom Aspinall out in the first round, because he's got the power, he's got the technical boxing to do that. But I think Aspinall, being the more well-rounded fighter, I think he can get the job done. I'll take Tom Aspinall by first round or second round submission. That's my pick, guys, for this fight, I mean. Alright, guys, next up at women's strawweight, we have Jessica Andrade taking on Mackenzie Dern. Let's get right into it, guys. Jessica Andrade, she's 24 and 12 overall. She's on a 3-fight losing streak right now. She got submitted by Erin Blanchfield, got knocked out by Jan Xiaonan, then she got submitted by Tatiana Suarez 2 months ago. She's been taking all these fights on short notice. I think she's just showing up for a paycheck, if I'm being honest, because she hasn't really been, she doesn't even care about her career anymore. She just looks stiff out there every time we see her fight. Anyways, she's 32 years old. She's still in her prime. She's 5 feet 1 inch tall with a 62-inch reach. She trains at a Pirana Wale Tudo gym. She's taking on Mackenzie Dern, guys, the number 6th ranked strawweight in the world. She's 13-3 overall in her career. She's coming off a dominant win over Angela Hill, where she dominated her from pillar to post. Absolutely, she almost had her finished in the first round. Had a deep armbar, and she looked really good with her striking too, guys. Her striking looked really improved, and nothing that Angela Hill landed on her even stunned her. Anyways, she's 30 years old. She's gonna be 2 years younger here. She's 5 feet 4 inch tall. She's gonna have a 3-inch height advantage here. She has a 63-inch reach. She trains at a Black House MMA and Checkmat Burbank Jiu-Jitsu. Anyways, guys, so Jessica Andrade is coming off she's on a 3-fight losing streak right now, but she's gonna have a striking advantage here, I think. But Jessica Andrade throws a lot of looping shots, which I don't really like. I picked against her I think I picked against her against Tatiana Suarez. Yeah, I picked Tatiana Suarez by submission there. And then I picked Andrade there against Jan Xiaonan, and she left herself wide open, and she got knocked out there in the first round. I don't know what she was doing there. I mean, she was a 2-1 favorite there over Jan Xiaonan, and she just got put out cold. Before that, I picked against her. I picked Erin Blanchfield there over her, and she took that fight on short notice and got dominated and got submitted in the second. I think it was the first round or second round. Mackenzie Dern, man. Mackenzie Dern's coming off a really good win over Angela Hill, but she should have won that fight against Jan Xiaonan. I thought she did enough to win the fight there, but it was a majority decision for Jan Xiaonan, who's really looking good right now. I mean, before that, she got a split decision win over Tisa Torres. Before that, she lost to Marina Rodriguez, which was another close fight. She does have close fights with these girls, so she does need to do a lot more to separate herself from the scorecards. Before that, she beat Nina Nunes by submission armbar. I do think Mackenzie Dern's going to have a grappling edge in this fight. Mackenzie Dern's going to be a little bit bigger too. She's 30 years old at 5 feet 4 with a 63-inch reach, so she's not going to be too huge over Jessica Andrade. Andrade's going to have a power advantage, I think, but Mackenzie Dern looked really good with her striking. I'm going to pick Mackenzie Dern by maybe a second round submission, or maybe a decision. I think she can outwork Jessica Andrade, or maybe just to find a submission. I'm going to say submission Mackenzie Dern by second round. That's my pick, guys. Let's go over the stats. I mean, I forgot to look at the stats. So, Jessica Andrade, she lands about 6.68 significant strikes per minute. She absorbs a 5.34, so she's landing just a little bit more than she's absorbing. Her striking defense is 54%. She's landing about 2.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. Her takedown accuracy is 54%. She's had a lot more experience than just Mackenzie Dern here. Her takedown defense is 70%. She can get taken down. She does make a lot of mistakes. She does pull guillotine sometimes. Mackenzie Dern, she lands about 3.36 significant strikes. She's absorbing a lot more than she lands. Her striking defense is 51%, which is okay, not too bad. And her takedowns are pretty bad. She doesn't have the best takedown entries. She's not even landing one takedown per fight. Her takedown accuracy is 15%. That's some of the lowest takedown accuracy I've ever seen. Her takedown defense is 40%. She can get taken down herself, but she's gonna have a grappling edge in this fight. I think she's gonna be the better girl with the jiu-jitsu here. She's gonna be more dangerous with the submissions. I'm gonna go with Mackenzie Dern by submission. I'm gonna say second round. I don't think Andrade is taking her career serious anymore. I think she's just showing up for a paycheck nowadays. Alright, guys. Next up at featherweight, we have a really good matchup. We have Pat Sabatini taking on Diego Lopez. Pat Sabatini is 33 years old. He's 18-4 overall in his MMA career. He's 4-1 his last 5 fights. He's 5 feet 8 inch tall with a 70-inch reach. He's taking on Diego Lopez, who's 22-6 overall in his MMA career. He's 28 years old. He's gonna be 5 years younger here. He's 5 feet 11 inch tall with a 72.5 inch reach, guys. This is a really good matchup. This is a grappler versus grappler matchup. I think Diego Lopes is going to be the little bit better striker here. He can strike a little bit better. I don't like what I see from Pat Sabatini on the feet. His striking just does look stiff, and he looks like he's stuck in the mud when he's throwing his hands. But his grappling is very high level, man. He sticks to his opponents like glue. He just dominated Lucas Almeida. Like Lucas Almeida didn't even belong there with him. I mean, he just wore him out in the first round, and just this dude's grappling is next level, man. Definitely next level grappling. Diego Lopes, I mean, he submitted Gavin Tucker with a flying triangle armbar. I mean, that was absolutely brutal in the first like 30 seconds too. So both these guys are very good grapplers, man. I mean, let's look at some stats, guys. The stats that we have. So Diego Lopes, his striking, he lands about 2.12 significant strikes per minute. His striking accuracy is 50%. He's absorbing 4.92 significant strikes per minute. I think that's probably because he fought Movsar Evloev. I think if Movsar Evloev fought a Pat Sabatini, Movsar would probably dominate Pat Sabatini and maybe finish him off. But his striking defense is 36%, so that's pretty low. He does leave a lot of openings on the feet. His takedowns, he doesn't really go for takedowns. He went for a flying armbar on Tucker, and he submitted him. I did pick him by first round submission there. His not really striking defense is 33%. I think that's because he fought Movsar Evloev. Movsar was able to take him down over and over. But he had Movsar in a lot of trouble, man. He had Movsar in like 10 submissions in that fight. That was an absolutely crazy fight. One of the best fights on the card. He's going to be taking on Pat Sabatini, man. Pat Sabatini lands about 1.95 significant strikes per minute. His striking accuracy is 59%. He's not really striking with anyone. He's just taking people down and dominating them. His striking absorbed per minute is 1.35 strikes absorbed per minute. His striking defense is 51%. He's got a really good striking defense. He's only been knocked out once, I think. His takedown, he has a better wrestling here. He's going to have the much better wrestling here. He's a stronger guy, I think, too. I think he's going to have a strength advantage over Diego Lopes here. He's got a takedown accuracy of 45% with the takedown defense of 42%, guys. This is a really hard fight to pick. The odds are really close for a reason. The odds are basically a pick'em for this fight. And it makes sense, man. Both these guys are very high-level grapplers. But I just like Pat Sabatini here, man. I think if this is a grappling matchup, I think Pat Sabatini can stick to him like glue. Avoid Diego Lopes submissions. Sabatini is probably going to be the more technical grappler here. And I'll take Sabatini here, guys. As long as if he can't get his takedowns on Diego Lopes, or if he leaves himself wide open, he can definitely get submitted here. I know how dangerous Diego Lopes is, but Diego Lopes can get outworked, man. He got outworked by Nate Richardson, and he's been outworked before by many guys. He's lost 4 of his fights by a decision, so we could definitely see Pat Sabatini just outwork him for 3 rounds. And Diego Lopes has never been submitted in his career. He's got 12 wins by submission, so he's very, very, very dangerous. But I'll take Pat Sabatini by decision. I think that's my pick, guys. Pat Sabatini by submission. A lot of people are picking Lopes here, and that makes sense why, because he's really dangerous. He's coming off a really good win over Gavin Tucker. But I don't really rate Gavin Tucker all that much. I'll take Pat Sabatini by decision. I think he can outwork and avoid submissions from Diego Lopes. But I'm a fan of Diego Lopes. I like his game. I like his fighting style. But I think Pat Sabatini, if he can avoid anything big on the feet, if he can stay safe on the feet and avoid anything big from Diego Lopes. But Diego Lopes is going to be the better striker here. But however, I do think Pat Sabatini can stick to him like glue and just outwork him for 3 rounds. I'll take Sabatini by decision. That's my pick. Alright guys, next up at lightweight we have a really good matchup. We have Matt Frevola, the Steamroller, taking on Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War, man. I'm really hyped for this fucking matchup, man. This is gonna be one of the best matchups on the card. I'm more excited for this matchup than even the light heavyweight matchup. Let's take a look at this, guys. So we have Matt Frevola. He's 11-3 overall, 11-3-1 overall in his MMA career. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He's 33 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, with the 71-inch reach, guys. He trains out of Gracie, Tampa South, and he also trains out of that Ray Longo and Weidman gym. He's taking on Benoit Saint-Denis, man, the God of War. He's 12-1 overall. He's number 18th ranked, taking on the number 15th ranked in the world at 155. He's 27 years old. He's gonna be much younger than Matt Frevola. He's 5 years younger here, and he's 5 feet 11 inches tall. He's gonna have a 3-inch reach height advantage here. He's got a 73-inch reach. He trains out of Warren Team Elite, guys. I'm so excited for this matchup, guys. Let's look at the stats first. So Matt Frevola lands about 3.72 significant strikes per minute. He's a really powerful guy. He hits really hard. So I think he's got some of the most power at 155. His striking accuracy is 41%. He absorbs 3.56 significant strikes per minute. His striking defense is 59%. He's got a really good striking defense. His takedown average is 2.26 takedowns per minute. Per 15 minutes. He's got a really good wrestling too. He's got good takedown defense. His takedown defense is 42%. Wow. Because he took out an Arman Tsarukyan, I think that's why his takedown defense is really low. Because Arman Tsarukyan was able to take him down over and over and over. His takedown accuracy is 36%. He's taken on Benoit Saint-Denis, who lands about 5.59 strikes landed per minute. His striking accuracy is 52%. He absorbs a lot more at 5.23. 27 strikes absorbed per minute. His striking defense is 44%. Striking defense is pretty horrible. He does eat a lot of big shots on the feet. His takedowns average per 50 minutes 4.72, man. He's a really high level grappler. Really good wrestling skills. He took down Moises over and over. Moises is not an easy guy to take down, man. And he was able to submit him. He was able to TKO Moises by ground and pound in the second round. Just wore him out. Just broke him. His takedown accuracy is 36%. Both of them had 36% takedown accuracy. Takedown defense is 80%. He's got the much better takedown defense, guys. This is a tough fight to pick, guys, because I really like Matt Frevola. I really like his game. He's got very, very, very heavy hands. He's on a 3-5 first round knockout streak right now. He knocked out Drew Dober. Drew Dober had a granite chin before he got knocked out by Frevola, the steamroller. But Drew Dober left himself wide open in that fight. Then he knocked out Artem Ajaitar, the Potato Man. Ajaitar is a fraud. Before he knocked out Valdez, who's a pretty okay guy. Valdez is a tough fight for anyone. I'm going to be picking Benoit Saint-Denis, man. Benoit Saint-Denis, he knocked out Moises in the second round ground and pound. I picked Benoit Saint-Denis there. I had a lot of money on him in that fight, and he won me a lot of money. A lot of people were on Moises in that fight. A lot of people picked Moises there too. Let's see how many picked. 17% people picked. A lot of YouTubers were picking Moises there as the underdog there. But man, I'm gonna go with Benoit Saint-Denis. I think he's got a little bit better wrestling in this fight. He's got a better cardio if the fight goes long. But what I will say is, if he starts trading in the pocket with the Frevola, man, Frevola can definitely put him out cold. And he does like trading in the pocket. He can get caught up in a firefight. He got caught up in a firefight with Moises. Moises landed some big hooks on him in the first round. But then he eventually just wore him out in the second round. Before they submitted Ismail Bonfim, that's a really good win. I picked Ismail Bonfim there, and he just submitted him in the first round. So that's a really good win for him there. He's got better wins than Matt Frevola, in my opinion. Submitted Gabriel Miranda. He knocked out Gabriel Miranda, okay. And then submitted Nicholas Stoltz. I'm going to pick Benoit Saint-Denis by a second round submission, guys. That's my pick. Has Matt Frevola ever been submitted? He's never been submitted, man. Maybe Benoit Saint-Denis can knock him out in the second round. A tough fight to pick, man. I'm a fan of Matt Frevola, but I'll pick Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm not gonna hop off the train now because he's on a 4-5 win streak right now. But he's gonna have to watch out for Matt Frevola's hands in the first round, because that's when Matt Frevola throws with a lot of steam, man. This dude can put him out cold. And Benoit Saint-Denis is a tough dude. He's got a good chin though. He had a lot of big shots from Eligio Gillespie at 170 up a weight class. So he's a really tough dude, man. He can definitely take a beating. But yeah, I'll take Benoit Saint-Denis by a second round TKO, guys. That's my pick. Alright, guys. Next up, on the featured fight on the prelims, we have Joshua Van taking on Kevin Borjas. Joshua Van is 8-1 overall in his MMA career. He's 22 years old. Very, very young guy for the game. He's 5 feet 5 inches tall with a 65-inch reach. He's coming off a really good upset win over Jalgas Jumagulov. I think he sent Jalgas out of the UFC with that, beating him there. I picked Jalgas there, I think, by decision, but he proved me wrong there. He's got a really good game, man. He's can definitely he's got a good ground game, good striking. He's got a lot of power on the feet. He stunned Jogas and had him in big trouble. Man, that was a good fight. He's got submission wins too. He's got knockout wins, and he's only gone to decision once. And he's fighting Fury FC too, man. I watched his Fury FC fights. He's a really good. He's a really good prospect. I mean, I'm glad the UFC signed him, and he's only 22 years old, so he's gonna make big improvements. He's gonna be taking on Kevin Borjas. He's coming off upset win over Victor Diaz. Victor Diaz was like a minus 500 favorite there. And Diaz just looked absolutely horrible, man. I can't believe how Diaz was a big favorite there. But Diaz was able to take him down a couple of times, but he wasn't able to hold him down. And Diaz looked absolutely horrible, gassed out in that fight. And Borja just touched him up on the feet and beat him up. I think it was this season, Dana White Contender Series in the first season too. On the first week too. He's a Peruvian prospect. He's 25 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall. So both these guys are similar in height. But Borja is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage here. He trains at a Pitbull Martial Arts Center. I'm going to pick Joshua Van here. I like his game, man. I think he's just a little bit more crisp and better striker. He's going to have the grappling edge too. He's going to be more dangerous with the submissions. Joshua Van, he's only had one fight in the UFC so far. Both these guys had only one fight in the UFC. Joshua Van landed almost 8 significant strikes landed per minute, so he's really good high volume. His striking accuracy is 51%, striking absorbed 6.86, with the striking defense of 64%. His takedown defense is 80%. He did defend a lot of takedowns against Jogas Jumagulov, who's a good wrestler and a good grappler. Kevin Borjas, he lands about 5.80 significant strikes landed per minute. His striking accuracy is 44% with the absorbing only 2.87. There's not a lot of, you can't really look too much into these stats because they only had one fight in the UFC so far. I'm gonna pick Joshua Van by decision, guys. That's my pick. I think he's gonna outwork him the striking, maybe get some takedowns to mix it in, and that's my pick, guys. I think Joshua Van is a really good prospect at flyweight. I think he's gonna make some big waves in the UFC. I think he's gonna look really good. So that's my pick, Joshua Van by decision, unanimous decision. Hey guys, next up at flyweight we have Matt Snell taking on Steve Erceg. Matt Snell is 16-8 overall. He's the number 12th ranked flyweight in the world. He's 33 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall with a 70-inch reach. He's taking on Steve Erceg, who's 10-1 overall. He's a really good prospect out of Australia. He got a really big win over David Dwork. I mean, he's beat a ranked opponent on short notice too. He got a bonus there by Dana White, so really good win for him there. He proved a lot of people wrong, man. A lot of people had David Dwork in their parlays. I don't think I had David Dwork in my parlays there because I just wanted to avoid him. I did have Steve Erceg. I was one of my favorite underdogs there, and he got the job done as like a plus 300 underdog there. He's 20 years old. He's 5 feet 8 inches tall with a 68.5 inch reach. He trains at a Wilkes MMA. And I'm not really gonna look into stats too much because Steve Erceg only had one fight in the UFC. But he's really well-rounded, man. He's got a good game on the ground. He's got a really good submission game too. Most of his wins are by submission. He's got 6 wins by submission, 3 wins by decision, and he's only lost 1 fight by decision. He's fought Dennis Bondar too. His only last 2 amateurs was to Dennis Bondar. He's got an amateur career too, so I really like what I see from Steve Erceg. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He submitted Shannon Ross too. Shannon Ross is one of the worst flyweights in the world, and he beat David Dwork on short notice, so he's gonna have a full camp for this fight. I expect him to look really good. Matt Snell is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He got knocked out by Mateus Nicolau 9 months ago. Then he got a win over Samur Darji, submitted him a year and a half ago. Got submitted by Brandon Royval. So he's really been inconsistent. Got beat by Rogerio Bontorin, then beat Tyson Nam by split decision. Matt Snell is definitely gonna have the more experience in this fight, but I'm gonna pick Steve Erceg. I think Steve Erceg is gonna find a submission in the second round. His striking looks really good too. Steve Erceg is a really well-rounded fighter, and I'm gonna take Steve Erceg by a club and sub. I think he's gonna get a club and sub in the second round. That's my pick, guys. Guys, next up at flyweight we have Matt Snell taking on Steve Erceg. Matt Snell is 16-8 overall. He's the number 12th ranked flyweight in the world. He's 33 years old, 5 feet 8 inch tall with a 70-inch reach. He's taken on Steve Ursay, who's 10-1 overall. He's a really good prospect out of Australia. He got a really big win over David Dwork. I mean, he's beat a ranked opponent on short notice too. He got a bonus there by Dana White, so really good win for him there. He proved a lot of people wrong, man. A lot of people had David Dwork in their parlays. I don't think I had David Dwork in my parlays there because I just wanted to avoid him. I did have Steve Ursay. I was one of my favorite underdogs there, and he got the job done as like a plus 300 underdog there. He's 20 years old. He's 5 feet 8 inch tall with 68.5 inch reach. He trains at a Wilkes MMA. And I'm not really going to look into stats too much because Steve Ursay only had one fight in the UFC. But he's really well-rounded, man. He's got a good game on the ground. He's got a really good submission game too. Most of his wins are by submission. He's got 6 wins by submission, 3 wins by decision, and he's only lost 1 fight by decision. He's fought Dennis Bondar too. His only lost to amateurs was to Dennis Bondar. He's got an amateur career too, so I really like what I see from Steve Ursay. And he's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He submitted Shannon Ross too. Shannon Ross is one of the worst flyweights in the world, and he beat David Dwork on short notice, so he's gonna have a full camp for this fight. I expect him to look really good. Matt Snell is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He got knocked out by Mateus Nicolau 9 months ago. Then he got a win over Samur Darji, submitted him a year and a half ago. Got submitted by Brandon Royval. So he's really been inconsistent. Got beat by Rogerio Bontorim, then beat Tyson Nam by split decision. Matt Snow is definitely gonna have the more experience in this fight, but I'm gonna pick Steve Ursay. I think Steve Ursay is gonna find a submission in the second round. His striking looks really good too. Steve Ursay is a really well-rounded fighter, and I'm gonna take Steve Ursay by a club and sub. I think he's gonna get a club and sub in the second round. That's my pick, guys. Hey guys, next up at lightweight, we have a lot of lightweight matchups on this card, and I like lightweight matchups. Anyways, we have Mateusz Rebecki taking on Nurullo Aliyev, the Tajik Eagle. Mateusz Rebecki is coming off a win over Loic Rajabov, who's another fighter out of I think he's another fighter out of Tajikistan. Loic Rajabov, yeah, he's out of Tajikistan, yeah. So he's taking another fighter out of Tajikistan. I think UFC wants him to beat all the Tajikistan fighters. Anyways, Rebecki is 18-1 overall. He's a prospect out of Poland. He's 31 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall with the 66-inch reach. He trains at a Berserker team. He's taking on Nurullo Aliyev, the undefeated Tajik Eagle, 9-0 undefeated, fighting out of Tajikistan. He's 22 years old, very young prospect, 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 72-inch reach. He trains out of Kaizen MMA. I think Mateusz Rebecki is going to be the better striker here. He pretty much broke Loic Rajabov down with the leg kicks and landed a big overhand left and just put him down out cold. Yeah, man, I don't really like Nurullo. I think he's still very inexperienced. He's barely scraped by Rafael Alvarez. That was a very close fight, and that was 6 months ago. And then before that, he knocked out Josh Wick, who's I don't really rate all that much. And before that, he's fighting Eagle FC and AMC and Guerrilla Fighting Team, guys. I think Mateusz Rebecki is the more experienced seasoned fighter here, and he's looking really good, man. He only has 1 loss in his career, and that was by knockout. He got knocked out very early on, and back in 2014 with the punch in the second round. But since then, man, he's been on a roll since then. He's on a crazy win streak right now, and I like what I see from Mateusz Rebecki. I slept on him in his fight against Loic Rajabov. I think I picked Loic Rajabov as underdog there. I had a bet on Loic Rajabov too, and he just broke him down and fucking slept him, man. And that was a harder fight than I think this is gonna be. But Nurullo has good striking. He's gonna have the better striking than Loic Rajabov. But I just feel like he's still very young, man. Only 22 years old. He still needs a lot of more experience. But he's gonna be 3 inches taller than Rebecki here, and he's gonna have a almost 6-inch reach advantage here. But I'll take Rebecki, man. I think he's just a little bit more seasoned. He's in his prime right now at 31 years old. And he's going to be very confident, man, coming off a knockout win over Loic Rajabov there. I'll take Mateusz Rebecki by decision. I think he's going to outwork him. I don't know if he's going to knock Nurullo Aliyev out Ali's a very young prospect. He's still learning. This is a tough fight to pick because both these guys are very good. But I think Rebecki just a little bit more seasoned right now, in his prime right now. So I'll take Rebecki by decision. Hey guys, next up we have another featherweight matchup. We have Denis Bajukha taking on Jamal Emmers, Pretty Boy. The Great versus the Pretty Boy. We have Bajukha 11-3 overall. He's coming off a loss to Sean Woodson, where he pretty much got outstruck and out grappled. There he took that on short notice, made his UFC debut on short notice. So he took his opportunity and lost to Woodson. No shame losing to Woodson. Woodson's a really tall, long striker for the weight class. He's 26 years old. He's 5 feet 9 inches tall with a 70.5-inch reach. He trains out of that Longo and Weidman Gym MMA. He's going to be taking on Jamal Emmers, who's 19-7 overall. He's coming off a split decision win, lost to Jack Jenkins, where a lot of people thought he got robbed. He was like over a -1,000 favorite on the live odds before the decision loss. I did pick Jack Jenkins there. I had Jack Jenkins by decision at plus 330 as one of my best bets there. And he's 34 years old. He's definitely going to be much older than Denis Bajukha. And Emmers is 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 74-inch reach. He trains out of Pinnacle MMA. The only thing I don't like about Jamal Emmers, he fights very close to his level of opponents. He fights to his opponent's level. He doesn't separate himself. He got a win over Askabab, who's a fraud. Lost to Pat Sabatini by heel hook. He was dominating Pat Sabatini, knocked him down a couple of times, I think. But then he got heel hooked. He definitely makes a lot of mistakes in fights. And before that, he beat Vince Kuchera. Lost to Giga Chikate by split decision. So he's got a lot of split decision wins, man. I don't know. I don't really rate Bajukha all that much, man. He's got some good wins on the regionals. He's got a win over on Dana White Contender Series too a year ago. Jamal Emmers is gonna be the better striker here. I think Bajukha is gonna be the one going for takedowns and gonna be the submission grappler. I don't know who I'm gonna pick, man. I'll take Jamal Emmers by decision, but I might change my pick later. I want to see how Bajukha looks in training. I want to see how his striking looks, but I wasn't impressed with his striking. He throws a lot of looping shots. He was throwing a lot of looping shots to Sean Woodson, but he's going to be the one walking forward. He's going to be the one putting pressure on Jamal Emmers. A lot of people are picking Jamal Emmers here, 76%, and it makes sense why, because he's definitely the more experienced fighter. He's got a lot more experience in the UFC. In the UFC, he's 2-3 overall. I mean, he's been submitted once and lost by decision, both by split decision. He does fight to his level of opponents. I mean, he's got good experience. He's got knocked out by Julian Erosa in the second kick by head kick. But he's fought Corey Sandhagen. He's got a win over Corey Sandhagen back in 2017. He fought Diego Moises too. Wow, back in RFA in 2016. So he's got a lot more experience than. He's got a win over Alexander Hernandez too by split decision. So this dude is good, man. But he's just got to stop. He's just got to separate himself or either finish fights. I'll take Jamal Emmers by decision. That's my pick, guys. Alright, guys. Next up at lightweight, we have another lightweight matchup. This fight card's full with lightweight matchups, and I absolutely love it, guys. We have Nazim Sadykhov taking on Vyacheslav Borisov. Nazim Sadykhov is 9-1 overall in his MMA career. He's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He's 29 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 69-inch reach. He trains at Longo Weidman Gym MMA. He's taking on Vyacheslav Borisov, who's 7-3 overall in his MMA career. He's coming off a knockout win over Mahashate, where I picked him by knockout there. He's 31 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall, with a 69-inch reach. He trains out of Team Alpha Male. So I think Nazim Sadykhov is going to have a grappling edge in this fight. He's got really good striking too. He's going to be the more well-rounded fighter here. And he's coming off a really good win over Terrence McKinney. He did get taken down in the first round and controlled the whole round. But then he was able to come back in the second round, make adjustments, and take McKinney down in the second round and submit him. Before that, he knocked out Evan Elder. It was a doctor's stop, his cut. Yeah, I think he was losing that fight. He was getting outstruck in that fight before that cut saved him. And he got a TKO. Before that, he got a knockout win over Suhail Hassan Jada. and he's got some wins of Fury FC. So he's got some good wins, man. He hasn't lost a fight in his last 5 fights. Vyacheslav Borisov is gonna be the way more technical striker here, but he's got a really big hole in his grappling. He does get taken down a lot. He got beat by Mike Davis because he got out grappled, and he got taken down like 5 or 6 times there. And then before that, he got taken down by Mark Dicasey and out grappled. But and then he took out a striker, Masarte, who doesn't really go for takedowns, and he knocked him out in the second round. So he did knock out Chris Duncan, who's a really good prospect. So, but Chris Duncan doesn't really go for a whole lot of takedowns. This is a tough fight to pick because a lot of people seem really confident in Sadim Najikov, and I will pick him because he's the more well-rounded fighter here. He can go for takedowns if he needs to. But if this fight stays on the feet, man, Nazim Sadikov can definitely get clipped or outstruck. Borisov is going to be the way more technical striker on the feet, but I'll take Nazim Sadikov by decision. I think he can outwork Borisov by getting the takedowns, timing those takedowns, messing up Borisov's timing on his striking, not letting him set up his striking. I'll take Nazim Sadikov. I think he can. He's been finishing his last 5 opponents. Does he finish Borisov? I don't really know, man. I don't think Borisov has ever been finished. He's never been finished, but maybe Nazim Sadikov can be the first one to do it. But I'll take Nazim Sadikov by decision. I think it's going to be a clean unanimous decision win for Nazim Sadikov, guys. Alright, guys, next up at women's strawweight, we have Tabitha Ricci, the Baby Shark, taking on Lupita Godinez, Lupi versus Baby Shark. So both of these girls are 4-1 in their last 5 fights. Tabitha Ricci is 28 years old, 5 feet 1 inch tall with a 61-inch reach. She trains at a Paragon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's fighting out of Brazil. She's taking on Lupita Godinez. She's 11-3 in her MMA career. She fights out of Mexico. She's 30 years old, 5 feet 2 inch tall with a 61-inch reach. Both of their reaches are pretty similar. Lupi trains out of Titans MMA. This is a tough fight to pick, guys, because both of these girls pretty much do the same thing. Tabitha Ricci is a good grappler. I mean, she doesn't really go for takedowns a whole lot. She'd rather prefer to just strike on the feet. But she's got good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think. And Lupi Godinez, she's got good wrestling. I think she's going to be a little bit more stronger girl in this fight. She's going to have a strength advantage maybe. And she's 1 inch taller. But who's fought the better level of competition? I think they've fought pretty much similar level of competition. I think Lupita Godinez has been in the UFC for a lot longer. She's had 9 fights in the UFC. She's lost to Angela Hill. She got outstruck there. She just looked off there. She does have a good win over Luma Lukbume. She lost to Luina Carolina, Jessica Penne by split decision. But she's got some good wins, man. She beat Emily Ducote, beat Cynthia Calvillo, and she just dominated Elise Reed. Elise Reed is pretty horrible. But she beat Vanessa Demopoulos. I mean, very close fight. I mean, a lot of people seem very confident in Tabitha Ricci. 70% people almost picking Tabitha Ricci here. Baby Shark. Baby Shark was knocked out by Manon Fiorot at an upper weight class. She took that fight on short notice, I think, too. She just there was a big size advantage for Manon Fiorot there. But she does have a good win over Maria Oliveira. Beat Poliana Viena by decision. Beat Jessica Penne. She submitted Jessica Penne by armbar. But yeah, then she beat Jillian Robertson, who can't really strike for shit. And Jillian Robertson doesn't have any wrestling to get. She can't get the fight to the ground. A lot of people seem really confident in Ricci, man, but I think I'll take Lupita Godinez. I think she's gonna have the wrestling edge in this fight if she does use her wrestling, and I think she's gonna hit a little bit harder with her striking. She's probably the cleaner striker here. But this is a close fight, guys. I think a lot of people are gonna side with Tabitha Ricci here. I did pick Tabitha Ricci against Jillian Robertson, I think, or maybe I picked Jillian Robertson against her. I don't really remember. But I'll take Lupita Godinez here by decision. I think she can definitely get some takedowns here and there. But this is going to be a very close fight, guys. Don't bet on this fight, I'm telling you guys. Do not bet on this fight, guys, because this is going to be... Whoever lands like 10 more significant strikes is going to win this fight. Whoever lands 1 more takedown is going to win this fight. But for now, I'll take Lupita Godinez here by decision. Maybe a split decision, guys. That's my pick. Alright guys, next up we're in the last fight on the prelims, guys. We have Kang Ho Khan, Mr. Perfect, taking on John Castaneda, Sexy Mexi. We have the war between Mr. Perfect versus Sexy Mexi. Let's get right into it, guys. We have Kang Ho Khan. He's 19-9 overall in his MMA career. He's had over 10 fights in the UFC. He's 4-1 in his last five fights in the UFC. He's 36 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall with a 73-inch reach. He trains at a Bushan Team MAD. He's taken on John Castaneda, who's 20-6 overall in his in his UFC career. In his MMA career. He's 31 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall with a 71-inch reach. He's gonna be at a 3-inch height disadvantage here. He trains at the Academy MN. Kang Ho Khan's really coming off a really good upset win over Christian Quinones. Christian Quinones overextended himself, left himself wide open, and got countered. And Kang Ho Khan landed a beautiful, beautiful left hook, I think it was, or right hand. It put him down and then jumped on his back and rear naked choked him out with the rear naked choke. John Castaneda, we know John Castaneda can strike. He's coming off a good win over Muin Gafra. Muin Gafra isn't really UFC level in my opinion. Gafra is 0-2 in the UFC now. Last on Dana White Contender Series 2. So I don't know how much stock you can really put into that Muin Gafra win. Before that, he got knocked out by Daniel Willica Santos. He did have Santos in a lot of trouble. He landed a big head kick on Santos in the first round, had him almost out of there. But Santos Willica is super tough. He's that fights out of the Diego Lima camp, so he's a hard guy to put away. But then John Castaneda pretty much gassed out in that fight. Muin Gafra did have a point deduction, so that fight could have been a lot closer. But that point deduction definitely helped him. But Castaneda did drop him in the first round, so that's good for him. Then he beat Mal Johns. Mal Johns is an okay fighter. He submitted Mal Johns with an arm triangle, dominated him. Before that, he knocked out Eddie Weiland, who's way past his prime. Before that, he lost to Nathaniel Wood by decision. This is a tough fight to pick, guys. Kang Ho Khan's gonna be a lot bigger than him. He's gonna be a little bit older, like by 5 years. But Kang Ho Khan looks good, man. It doesn't look like he's not showing his age. He did lose to Rani Yahya, which is not a good look for him. But he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights, man. But he did have 2 wins by split decision over Brandon Davis and Peng-Yon Leo. If Christian Quinones didn't overextend himself, he probably would have won that fight, in my opinion. But before they beat Batgirl Dana. It's a tough fight to pick, guys. A lot of people are picking I think Kang Ho Khan here. 67% people picking Kang Ho Khan. John Castaneda is 31 years old, 5'6" with the 71-inch reach. Trains out of the Academy MN. I don't know who I'm gonna pick, guys. This is a 50-50 fight. But I'll take John Castaneda has been put away. He's been knocked out twice. I don't think Kang Ho Khan has ever been put away. No, he has been put away too. But he loses majority of his losses. A majority of his losses are by decision. He gets outworked. I don't know who I'm gonna pick here, guys. I'll take John Castaneda just because he's been a little bit more active. I think both these guys have been active similarly. But I don't like that he lost to Rani Yahya. But then John Castaneda gassed out in the fight and lost to Daniel Santos. He's a good fighter. Losing to Nathaniel Wood isn't a bad look. This is a 50-50 fight. I don't know who I want to pick. I'll just take I'll just flip a coin, man. I'll just flip a coin. I'll take Kang Ho Khan. I think Kang Ho Khan by submission, guys. That's my pick. Alright, guys. Leave a like down below. Let me know who you're picking down below. And if you guys appreciate these early predictions video, it took me like 2 hours to make this. So please leave the like down below and subscribe to the channel, guys. We're trying to hit 400 subscribers. We hit 372 subscribers. We only need like 28 more subscribers to hit 400. So please, guys, hit the subscribe button. Tell your uncle, tell your grandma to hit the sub button. And I already made the video out for the Brazil card, the Vegas 82 Brazil card. The video is already out. I'll add it to this video at the end so you guys can look at that if you want. But yeah, man, let me know who you guys have in this video. Let me know who you guys parlaying on this card. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy. Should I make a parlay for this card? Should I make a parlay for this card for you guys? Maybe I'll add a parlay at the end of this video that I like early. Alright guys, later. Alright guys, in this part of this video at the end we're going to be doing a parlay that I like for this card. This is an early parlay guys. We're going to do a 3-leg parlay that I like so far. We're going to go with we're going to put Jon Jones in there. I mean the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world right now. Johnny Bone Jones. We're going to put him in there, and then we're going to put I wanted to put Benoit Saint-Denis, but fucking Frevola just throws hammers and that scares me. Maybe we'll make 2 parlays, one with the safest parlay that I like. We're gonna go with the Steve Irsay. I really like him. I think he's gonna just dominate Matt Snow. I think he's gonna finish Matt Snow off. So we're gonna throw him in that parlay. So we're gonna throw one more leg with that I like. I like Nazim Sadikov. I think he's gonna have a grappling edge in this fight, as long as he mixes in the takedowns and mixes in the striking. I think he can outwork him. I like this parlay, guys. This is a +182 parlay for Johnny Bone Jones, Steve Irsay, and then Nazim Sadikov, guys. I like this 3-leg parlay. Let me know what you think about this parlay. Let's make another parlay. Let's make a risky parlay that I like for +500. The risky parlay that I like for +300. I mean, let's go with the. Let's throw with the parlay. Okay, I gotta plus this. Okay. So the next parlay, juicy parlay that I like for this card is where is it? Where's UFC 295? Okay, let me pull it up here, guys. 1 second. Okay, there we go. We're gonna throw Joshua Van in here. We're gonna throw Rebecca in here, +126 for these 2 legs, and we're gonna throw one more leg in here, guys. One more leg that I like is I don't want to throw a women's MMA in this fight. Maybe we'll throw a Jiri Prochazka. I like Jiri Prochazka in this. I mean, you can get +124 in DraftKings. You get +406. Maybe throw one more leg in there. Maybe throw Benoit Saint-Denis in there. I mean, +659, guys. This is a Joshua Van, Matus Rebecki, Jiri Prochazka, and Benoit Saint-Denis, guys. This 4-leg pays out at +659. This is definitely a risky play. I'll probably put like $50 on this, but yeah, I like this parlay, guys. This 4-leg parlay pays out at +659. I mean, please be safe with parlays, guys. Let's look at a safest parlay that we can make for 2-leg parlay that I like. Maybe just Johnny Bone Jones and the Jiri Prochazka, or maybe let's look at this, guys. Where's there we go. So Matt Snow opened up at +163. So yeah, the money is coming in on Steve Irsay. Let me press the parlay button again. Let's do a safest parlay that we can make. Obviously we're gonna throw Johnny Bone Jones in there, and then even this 2-leg parlay, Jiri Prochazka and Johnny Bone Jones +163. I like this 2-leg parlay, but it's tough putting Alex Pereira's opponents in parlays because Pereira is a monster. Maybe take Jiri Prochazka out. Maybe put Mackenzie Dern. I mean, Andrade doesn't really look the same anymore. -124 for these 2 legs. Maybe just take Mackenzie Dern out of there. Put Benoit Saint-Denis, -114 for Jon Jones and Benoit Saint-Denis. Let's look at this other one. Maybe Johnny Bone Jones and Jared Gordon. I like Jared Gordon chances. -109 for these 2 legs. Maybe throw one more leg in there. Joshua Van. I really like Joshua Van. +168. I like this 3-leg parlay. Let me know who you're going with in the parlay section, guys. Let me know what you think about the first parlay, the second parlay, and third parlay. And I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Don't forget to hit a like down below if you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm one of the few people that's even putting this video out this early. If you guys appreciate the grind, appreciate the content that I make content almost every single day. I've been on the grind, guys. Come on, hit the like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching this video for the first time. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys later.